Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a tutorial on this purple shimmery look with some very bold dramatic lashes. So if you are interested in seeing how I achieve this look, then please keep watching. I'm going to begin this look by applying these shadow shields right underneath my eyes, and this is really just to catch the fallout from some of the darker shadows that I'm going to be using, but it also will give me that nice harsh line on the edge that I can kind of blend out and make softer if I'd like to, as I will not be doing a wing today. So I'm just making sure that they are even on both sides and just applying that with the top line of adhesive. I'm going to be taking my Tarlette palette and using one of the nude or one of the transition colors in this just to put into my crease, just to make the darker shadows blend a little bit easier because I had already primed and set my eyes off camera. I take a few moments just building that color up and making sure that everything is blended out, and especially in that outer corner where I want the most depth. Then with a smaller brush, I am taking I'm taking another color in the Tarlette palette and going directly into my crease and just a little bit above my crease because I do have hooded eyes, just for later on in the look, so those colors have something to blend with as well. And I want to kind of start my shape with the lighter colors so I can follow it later with the darker colors and not have to worry. I'm going to be using this Glossip eyeshadow, and it is from the company Glossip, which is a Italian brand, I believe. And I will say that the shadow was pretty difficult to work with. I have not used it before. It was very dusty, very powdery, and I did not get a whole lot of color payoff, but I was pretty intent on trying to use it. So I just used that on that outer V just to map out my shape and to kind of darken that up. But I did have to work very hard to get this, even the pigment that I will end up with. So I don't know if this would be something that I would recommend. It may just be for just a lid, maybe over a primer, that shadow may work out a little bit better for. But it did work, but it just took a long time and there was a lot of fallout. So I'm really glad that I didn't do my makeup beforehand on my face, or I would have had to wipe it off and completely start again. So I left a lot of this blending footage in just so you can see the technique, but also so you can see that if you have a difficult shadow, it actually can work. You're just going to have to put a little bit extra time in, and I did take a lot of the time out because who wants to watch a 45-minute video? Next, I just took a clean brush just to buff out the edges of this shadow, just to make sure that I didn't have any harsh lines. And now I'm going to be using one of my tried and true, one of the L'Oreal shadows, and I believe this is an Infallible shadow. I'm going in right at the lash line on a pencil brush and getting automatic color payoff, so I kind of wished that I had just used this shadow to begin with, but I went ahead and started mapping the shape out just a little bit. Although this shadow is a little bit darker than what I wanted on that outer V, it does smoke out really nicely. Next, I'm going to be going into kind of like a paint pot, but it's from H&M, and I'm going to use this as the primer for my lids for the next color that I'm going to be using. And this, it does have like a lilac tone to it, which is really pretty, and that's fine because I was going for the purple eye look, so if that shines through, that is okay. And I'm just using a concealer brush from Wet n Wild to apply this. And next I'm going to be packing on a pigment from Inglot, and this pigment is so pretty. It's one of my favorites, and I don't wear it a whole lot because it is very much in your face for sure, but it is just so pretty. I love this pigment. So any Inglot pigments are actually really nice. If you have a really good one that you like to use, leave it in the comments below because I'd like to try some different ones, maybe step out of my just purple and blue. And this is the Illamasqua eyeshadow. I think I'm saying that right, and it's kind of like a chameleon shadow. It's called Cascade, and I just picked this up, and I'm going to be using this for my inner corners. It has the most beautiful blue purple shift to it, and I fell in love as soon as I saw this. Moving on to my face, I'm going to be using this Hard Candy primer, and I wasn't sure at first because it kind of smells a little funny, but the staying power of this is actually amazing for a drugstore brand. I think it was $4, so I highly recommend, picking that up, trying it out. And I have really sensitive skin, so it didn't break me out, so that's always a plus. Next, moving on to my face, I am going to be painting on my foundation. This is something new I'm trying, instead of just putting it on with a beauty blender, because I'm looking to get a little bit heavier coverage, but not full coverage, and I feel like the beauty blender kind of takes a lot of it. So I am concealing under my eyes with another new product. This is by Rommel, and I love the product, but I absolutely hate the dispenser because I feel like if I squeeze it too hard, the end's going to shoot off and then we're just going to have a big problem. So I'm blending that out, making sure that I don't go over that line on the outside of my eye, and I'm going to set my under eyes with my RCMA powder, and this quickly goes bad. As you can see, I didn't dust the brush off and we have a mess. But it's okay because you can always use it, right? But I'm wearing a black shirt, so it gets real cute here in just a minute. The moral of the story is, tap those brushes off. You just make yourself a big old mess. So go ahead and dust away all that product. Use it to set your early T-zone areas or any other areas you may need. And then I am taking a purple eyeliner kohl pencil and just doing my waterline, and I will smudge that out, and then I will connect it to the outer corner just to make sure that there is a seamless transition on the outer corner. And I see that the shadow shields are making their appearance again. That's cute. Okay, so I bought this trio at one of our local stores with some new brushes, and I wanted to give it a try for contouring, and I'm blending, and I have nothing. So I decided that brush was not for me and went to a tried and true, the NARS Ita brush, which I still kind of have a love-hate relationship with, but it does get the job done. So I'm using this to bronze up and contour my face a little bit, and then I'm taking a big fluffy brush to blend everything out to make it a little bit more seamless because it does go on a lot more pigmented with that brush. Then I did not get enough RCMA powder earlier, so I'm just cleaning up my lines here as usual, and then we will dust that away as well. Now, if you wanted a more structured look, you definitely wouldn't have to do this amount of blending, but I wanted something a bit softer. So next, I am going back into this Illamasqua shadow because I am extra and needed a whole lot more in my inner corners, and then I decided I needed to use this as a highlighter, and it is absolutely stunning. So I definitely recommend picking this up. For lips today, I will be using the Huda Beauty Liquid Mattes, and again, another winter product, so comfortable. I'm using this, and this is in the color Medusa. It has sort of a purpley tone to it. I'm going to go ahead and clean the lines up just to make it a more flawless look, and this is a small e.l.f. concealer brush, and I will set my face using the Gerard Slay All Day, and this has quickly shut up to my #1 setting spray. So that does complete the look. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Please make sure that you are subscribed if you are not already, and leave this video a big thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.